Hello, how we doing? Guess who's back? How we doing, guys? Long time no see. Looks like I haven't made a video in like over 5 months, 5, 6 months. Obviously we know the 360 is dead and all that. I kind of like moved away from that just a little bit, and I've just been doing other things. I still game once in a while, mostly on PlayStation now. But I still have like my other consoles, which I kind of want to show you guys a little bit on that, like my updated collection and all that, like what I currently have. But as far as YouTube goes, you on YouTube anymore. I did it because of the 360 days. That was like the prime time. I used to like do a lot of modded lobbies and stuff like that. Are you alive? Yes, I am. Without further ado, I kind of want to show you my little collection I have. Let's start off with these first. These are my Executor 3 control panel consoles. So if you don't, or if you're probably not familiar with these, but basically these were back in the day. It was these face plates. Basically go off of a mod chip called the Executor 3 chip. And this faceplate now, 2026, is you can't even find them. And when you do find them, they're really, really expensive. Like just the faceplate alone is probably at least like $700-800 plus. Especially the blue one. The blue one is the hardest to find. And this was super hard to find because this so happened to be a Japan exclusive only Japan console. So I got lucky on that. And then I had literally one for each, like a black, blue, green, and then the clear one. And these are just custom. And what this is, because I was thinking of, I don't know if I'm going to sell this yet, but I basically have an additional mod chip. It's called the Open Xenium or something like that. It's an open source chip where you can pretty much put in any console. I'm not sure about the 1.6 motherboards, but and then it has these two little switches so whoever has an X3 chip, they can attach these to any Xbox. But yeah, that's the original Xbox. These are all, each one has a 2 terabyte in each. And yeah, they can go online if you want, like on Halo 2 or something like that. And then I have a PS5 Pro right here. Yes, I do have a disk drive. And then over here on the other side, I have a dual monitor set up for my computer. And then I have these. I like these a lot. That's why I have these plugged in right now. So I have a PS4 Pro. It's on firmware 9.00. You can jailbreak it. You can run homebrew. Same thing with this. This is a PS5 fat model, and it's on firmware 4.03. You can do the same thing, get homebrew, and yeah. And then this is my 360. It's RGH'd. You can go online, but you can get homebrew. Basically all of these can preserve your games. But yeah, I also have a little monitor when I want to game over here. And then over here, I have a bunch of handhelds. But yeah, we can start with this one. This is a PlayStation Vita 2000. This is a Japan imported version, which is pretty nice. It's actually in really good condition. And then I currently have this. This is probably my go-to favorite. It's a PS Vita 1000, which has the better screen. However, what makes this one special is I installed an internal mod. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Hold on. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Hang on. I don't know if you can see that in there. But I installed, I think it's called PS Vita 2 SD card or something. I'll put a little annotation, a little screenshot of it, what it looks like, what I did. Basically, it's plugged in for the 3G module. I took the 3G module out like completely because 3G is irrelevant even nowadays, and I replaced it with an SD card slot, and it has an extender. So like instead of taking it apart every time to put your SD card in, it goes in the 3G slot rather. As you can see, there's a little SD card in there. And then if you really want, which I haven't yet because they're expensive, but you could put another SD card on top like you normally would. Let me show you. Alright, so if you look, I've pulled this guy out. It's an SD to Vita. So it's like a game card, but you're putting a memory card in it. And since this has home custom firmware, you're able to run it because Sony made a very, very, whoops, why do I keep zooming in? Very expensive memory cards for the. All right, so these are all my handhelds. So this is a PSP 1000, the original model, the fat model, which I don't know, I kind of like it, even though it's fatter, like thicker. You gotta like a physical switch just to open UMD. But yeah, this one's really good condition. It's actually a Japanese blue model. The US only had them in black for whatever reason, but it so happened to have a blue one. And then this is a 2000, the model right after this. This came out in 2008, I believe, the 2000. And 2005, I believe it was, for the 1000. But yeah, you can see like a couple differences. But yeah, this one you gotta like actually do that to open it. But yeah, these are both modded as well. You can put games on that memory card. Which I have a bunch of these. Basically, these are, you put it in a PSP and you can put a memory card in there, like a micro SD card. And then I have a PSP Go with a custom blue shell, as you can see right here. Because for whatever reason, I don't think they ever made any special editions or anything like that. And also has a mod. Let me show you. It has an adapter, but this one's different than, like, you can't just take it out. You can, but you have to take apart the whole shell, but you can see it. So I basically have a 128, which is the highest you can use for that. And I think it looks kind of cool being blue. And the reason why this is white right here, the analog, they don't really have any analog sticks that match the color. But I think it looks good. So, and there's that. PSP Go. And then I have a DSi. A traditional DSi again. This has homebrew and all that. Play games off the SD card actually. And then I have a Switch Lite, which is also has a mod chip installed. Believe it or not, this particular unit has the very original mod chip, actually, by Team Executor. They're the ones that basically discovered the exploit and everything like that. And I have literally the original mod chip, but however, they had added DRM because they didn't really want people using their stuff. But obviously, things changed because they got arrested. Like, there's a whole story about it. I might like either link you a video or something like that. But anyways, since this is they have DRM on the mod chip, I guess people figure it out so you can like flash it with, for example, like you can change the bootloader to allow you to run a different custom firmware, because at the time this had SXOS, which is a custom firmware, but like since they went to jail and all that and they had legal issues, I put the current firmware that's still being operated and updated to this date. It's called Atmosphere, so I have Atmosphere running on this even though it's the original mod chip, which is kind of cool. So in a way, I don't really think it's more valuable, but because it's clones now with these mod chips, it's like you can find them pretty much any website almost. Like basically, they've been cloned. Now I have these guys. So this is the original Switch, like they call it a V1 model, which is the launch model, which came out between 2017 and 2018. And this model, basically, you can mod without a mod chip, and they can't patch it, which means you can get custom firmware and run homebrew without a mod chip, essentially. However, what I did, because at the time you need either a computer or one of these dongles. Basically, it has a payload on it, so when you hit the power button and this is plugged in, it'll jailbreak it. However, I had someone install an internal mod, which I might be able to show you on camera when I hit the power button. Watch, I'm just going to hit the power button, that's it. You can kind of... Oh, well, it's already on. Let me shut it off, hold on. Alright, I just shut it off. I kind of want to show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to hit the power button, ready? I'm going to show you the back when I'm doing it. See that? The light? That is basically... Technically, it's not a mod chip. It's called a trinket. It's basically doing what this does, but it's inside. It's internally. So basically, if I didn't have this, I would have to insert this every time or use a computer. But since I have this installed, let me show you. See, it's already booting into a little bootloader here. So yeah. Alright, moving on to some more consoles. I have this blue Wii, and it's also homebrewed. But what makes this one very special, let me show you. It has the, right here, you can see it. Whoop, flash drive's in the way there. I don't know if you can see. Yep, there we go. That's a micro HDMI, which is basically the same as a regular HDMI. It's smaller because the other side of my HDMI cable is regular size, so I can put in any HD screen TV, and it'll actually produce at least 480p, which is great. Alright, and I have a white fat PS2. Again, for whatever reason, Sony only made the fat units black in America. This is a Japan import. It has free McBoot and a regular memory card as well, and I have a wireless controller for it. And I believe right now it has a 120 gigabyte hard drive in the back, so that's pretty cool. And I do have component cables, but maybe I'll one day HDMI mod it. I'm not sure yet. And then I have a blue PS3 Slim, not super slim, but just regular slim. I actually prefer the slims. This is actually a slim. Blue slims, not the super slim, but blue slims weren't really that common in the US. So again, this is a Japan one, but this has also custom firmware and everything. You can go online too, but I don't really use it to go online. Whoops, that was just the stand that came off by accident. But yeah, I still to this day think the PS3 was a very, very interesting console. Like even the PS2, like you can't go forget the PS2. The PS2 was like one of the best. You know, the best selling console still to this day is the PS2. But even this, I remember you go online for free. You had a guide button on your controller. You know what I mean? It was fun, man. I have a Wii U. So I don't really have this custom. The only thing I have is like these little vinyl stickers thingies. But it looks good. I actually got them on really good. It has stands because I figured to have it like just sitting up. I got the gamepad too, also customized to match. But this also is homebrewed. That's really easy to mod. Next, I want to show you. This is probably my favorite when it comes to the retro. This is a Nintendo GameCube. And this is probably my favorite because like it has probably the most mods in it as far as I know, besides my other consoles. But so if you look on the back, it has a little switch. So like for example, if you do this, go down, it's Japan. So like it's basically a Japan only console, and you can do this, it'll be America. It has an HDMI port, like an actual, like it's nice and clean. It also has a new fan, which you can't see unless I take it apart, but it sounds better. Temperatures are better. I don't have a Game Boy thing for it, but it has every cover. The sticker is really nice. This is, again, a Japan-only color, so you can't find this in America. You can, but it's third-party sellers. Still have the disc drive intact. And yeah, and also on top of that, it has a Pico mod chip installed, which you don't need. But basically, once I turn it on, it boots right into Homebrew. Like, you have access to all your games without doing anything. You don't need a disc, nothing. So yeah, this is probably my ultimate GameCube. Next, I have my Dreamcast. So this has a third-party shell. And also I put a mod here where I have an SD card, as you can see right there. Hold on, let me show you. So you can just take it out, add more games. And yeah, I want to get an HDMI mod for this at some point. I really do. Because again, this didn't really sell well. I could see why, because of piracy and all that. Cause like there was a huge exploit with the disc drive where you use a specific format which only was made in Japan. I think it's called the Mill CD format, I believe it was. Basically, they'll take like a dump of a game and they'll basically convert it and burn it to that disc, the Japan format. You know, it's called Mill CD, and they never added protection to that format, so that's how you're able to play burnt games essentially. But I don't do that because I have an SD card slot. I'd rather do that. That's how you can preserve all your games. But yeah, that's the Dreamcast. Also, I have this controller for it, which kind of I also have the original controller, but this I thought was kind of cool. Also by Retro Fighter, so it's a really nice controller. I think it is. I mean, it's wireless, and you still have UBMU. So, but yeah, that's basically my consoles in a nutshell. And as you could tell, I'm a huge fan of Michael Myers. Let me show you real quick. I don't know if you can see it from here, but hold on. I've been building a sleeve of him, so if you want to take a look, this is the first piece I got. That's obviously Michael. This is I don't know if you can see that, Jamie Lee Curtis. Dr. Loom. That's the logo from the first movie, and this is Dr. Loomis. And then my newer piece was this one right here, which is his house, Michael's house. And on the very bottom it says, "You can't kill the boogeyman." So I figured I'd show you that. I'm a huge fan. I'm actually kind of curious, like, if any of you just leave a comment, like, being like, "What's up?" You know, kind of curious. I don't know, like, who's around, so I'm gonna be kind of curious. I don't know where this video is gonna go. Like, I just figured I felt like making it. I wanna, just see what's going on. Oh, also I have this small collection of like this random Halo stuff. I used to have a lot more. Like, I used to have the Legendary Edition of Halo Reach, but I gave that away. I just getting rid of some clutter and all. Bye.